This is your moment. How has this week been for you?
This week's been great, Gilbert. I may have shocked the world, but I never shocked myself. I knew all along I had it in me. I had all the support of these fans here at OVW, and I've never felt better.
Now we're finding out who's going to be the challenger for you at the Saturday Night Special on August 6th.
The following match scheduled for one fall is for the #1 contendership for the OVW title. Introducing first, from Liverpool, England, weighing in tonight at 245 pounds, Andreas Rossi.
Andreas Rossi wrestled here at OVW and then all over Liverpool, England. He came back and he said he had his eyes on the title. He came back and said he wanted to be the OVW champion, and really, Jason, you kind of just got in his way of that one.
From what I hear in the back, he's got a little bit of an attitude problem because he wants to come out here. He's going to meet Johnny Spade tonight, a man who I've got a ton of respect for. We'll see what happens here tonight.
Here comes the smooth one, Johnny Spade, a man who was on an unbelievable roll, undefeated streak here at OVW. Jason Wayne, you stopped it.
His opponent from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in tonight at 216 pounds, Smooth Johnny Spade.
You talked about facing Jason Wayne in the tournament. You also faced Moose. You faced some toughest competitors here in OVW. What was it like going into each match? What was the tournament like for you?
Well, each matchup was a little bit different. You know, I had Moose in the first match. He's one of the biggest men here in OVW, so obviously I had to change my style versus guys like Rudy Switchblade, Johnny, Mike Mondo in the final. So I learned a lot in this tournament. It was basically about adjusting to each and every opponent, and I came out on top in the end.
And in that final moment, 1, 2, 3 over Mike Mondo, your hands raised as the new OVW champion 6 months after you burst onto the scene. What was in your heart? What was in your mind?
It's the greatest moment of my life thus far. I only plan on making it bigger, and it just shows what hard work, dedication can do in this business.
All right, I've heard enough of all these pats on the backside here, and let's face it, son, you're a rookie. Not a whole lot of people in this tournament knew all that much about you. I know the Moose, there's a big shock. I know the Moose underestimated you a bit. He told me so. But let's face facts. Did you not have a bit of an unfair advantage in this tournament? Because Muscagny has already buzzed me on the situation. So there's problems about the time differential and how much of a break you had between matches. Mondo only got a few minutes, and you got like an hour. Now, come on now.
Bolin, I'd expect you to be a little bit sour about this whole situation, seeing as how no one from Bolin Services 2.0 made it out of the first round. Myself putting one of them out in James Moose Thomas, and I've also beat Rocco in the past.
And that's your answer, that I've got sour grapes.
That's my answer.
Oh. Smooth Johnny Spade saying this is for the title and delivering a knife-edge chop. Are you scouting right here, Kemp?
I am. I've never seen Rossi in the ring before. Of course, I've been in the ring with Smooth Johnny Spade.
Cover. Don't mean to cut you off here. Out in 2.
Well, Rossi informed me he was coming here to OVW and he was going to be getting the title, and he didn't care who had it. Obviously, he didn't know that you were going to be the one to get it. Mondo had it when he contacted me, and then, of course, Mondo was stripped by Danny Davis. But you're the man right now, so how's that feel?
It feels great up until this point. Rossi hasn't proven anything to me. He's coming here and ran his mouth, but
well, he's proven plenty over in England, I'll tell you that.
If he does win here tonight, sir, I have no problem facing him at the next Saturday Night Special.
We got another cover. Johnny Spade out in 1. You faced Johnny Spade in the OVW title tournament. Would you prefer to face him again at the Saturday Night Special?
I really have no preference. I have no preference if it's Smooth Johnny Spade, if it's Andreas Rossi, if it's anyone in the locker room, on either side of the locker room. I really don't care. As I stated earlier, I'm a fighting champion. I'll take on all comers anytime, any
You ought
place.
to be running for president of the United States, because those are about as politically correct answers as I've ever heard. You mean to tell me that if you only had 10 minutes between matches and Mondo got an hour break, that you wouldn't be out here crying about it? Is that what you're telling me?
I wouldn't be out here crying because the results would have been the same. I still would have came out on top, and I'd still be your champion right here, right now.
You say that with a straight face like you really mean it.
You're really questioning the time between matches. Do you remember how Mondo even got into the tournament? Do you remember how he got to handpick his own opponent, Kenny?
What's that got to do with anything?
Really?
he always cry this much, Gilbert?
Yes, he does, and you just have to shut him down and put him back in his
I don't
place.
see how you deal with it every week.
Well,
Good
It'll
on you.
take better than you two to put me in my place, I promise you that. I apparently am the true investigative reporter sitting at this table.
You can't even spell investigative.
I-N-V.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I can do it.
Right now, some more knife edge chops.
At
Smooth
time.
Johnny Spade trying to put Andreas Rossi in his place. And Champ, what did you learn? What did you learn in that first match against Johnny Spade?
In the first match against Johnny Spade, I learned that he's quick, he's witty, he thinks on his feet really quick, and I have to have my mind going at all times to defeat him. I've done it once and I can do it again.
Now, you've tagged with Johnny Spade in the back before. I mean, does the fact that you guys were tag partners in the past and friends and have respect for each other weigh into your mind as you faced each other?
I have a ton of respect for Johnny Spade. As you mentioned, I have tagged with him before. You know, that honestly gave me a little bit of time, and him as well, to learn
Got
a little
another
bit.
cover here, got another cover.
That gave us each time to learn a little bit about each other, and I feel like that carried over into our match.
I tell you what, here it's Andreas Rossi telling Spade something, perhaps even telling all of us here at the broadcast booth something that he is not one to be looked past.
Rossi's a tough hombre, son, I'm telling you. And if the big Marine here was really friends with Spade, he might have told Spade not to take this match. Because Rossi is a tough, tough customer and very well may beat him right here tonight. And you might be facing Rossi at the next Saturday night main event.
Rossi, Spade, doesn't matter who it is. I wouldn't have tried to talk Johnny Spade out of this for anything. He's just as tough as a competitor as any, and he's never one to back down from a fight either.
Do you feel like you have a target? Do you feel like you have that bullseye in your back, Jason Wayne?
I do. I definitely believe, you know, like I mentioned earlier, both sides of the locker room, and who can blame them? Everybody's hungry here in OVW. Everybody wants a shot at the title. Nobody wants to come here, you know, to be low on the totem pole. Everybody wants a title or they shouldn't be here. So that's something I fully expected, and that's something that's not a shocker to me, and that's something I'm dealing with, and it's something I welcome. Because as long as that's happening, hey, shut up, Kenny. Because as long as that's going on, that means I'm the top guy. Nobody can take that away from me.
Andreas Rossi trying to cover Johnny Spade, but the wily veteran knowing where he was at in the ring, grabbing that bottom rope so the referee wouldn't count.
Let me remind the big dumb Marine something here real quick. There's two things you better learn around here. Respect the Bolins. That's me and my son. My son offered you a contract, wanted to lead you to the top and keep you at the top, and it looked to me like you turned it down. So that proves to me you're not too smart right there.
How does that prove to you that I'm not smart, considering I'm sitting here at the heavyweight title right now without the help of Bowling Services 2.0?
Let's see how long you keep it.
The smartest thing he ever did was staying away from you, Kenny.
Shut up.
And the referee lays in the count. Smooth Johnny Spade and Andreas Rossi giving it their all. He's up to 5 here. The winner of this match will face Jason Wayne at the next Saturday night special, August 6th, right here in Davis Arena.
Oh, we got Johnny showing a little bit of fire here.
Thing I'm going to remind to you there, Marine, is that the Bolins have been running the show around here for 25 years. You've been around here 25 minutes. It would heed you to start a little of our advice. I'm just trying to help you.
25 minutes and I'm the new heavyweight champion. What's that tell you, Kenny?
Tells me that you might have got lucky, rookie. That's what it tells me. If the Moose had been better prepared for you, you wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Moose and all the other guys I took out?
It would be the Moose.
Oh! Hits him with that super kick out of nowhere. Andreas Rossi flat on his back, and now it's Smooth Johnny Spade climbing towards the top.
I've been on the receiving end of that super kick. Andreas better move here or it's over.
There's the swanton. If he covers him, this could be it.
Come on, Rossi, come on.
2, 3.
Ah, damn it.
Your winner, Smooth Johnny Spade.
What do you think about it, Jason Wayne? We now know that